Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. The first thing I wanted to show you in this video was this. I got this from X-Men XRP, but I also wanted to give a happy birthday shout out. I believe today is X-Men XRP's birthday, at XRP33. So you might go on Twitter and follow him and tell him happy birthday. But this is what he sent me today. This guy right here is on fire, and you need to definitely give him a follow. At Fame21More, he goes by XRP Darren, and what he put on here. This is a document. It's a document called Potential Federal Reserve Actions to Support Interbank Settlement of Faster Payments, and you'll see where Brad Combs, who's also a good follow, at Backup Bradley. Now, if this doesn't speak to people, nothing will. You're incredible, and this is the document right here. And from what I can tell, this is from December 13th, 2018. From what I can tell, this is a set of replies to the Federal Reserve. It's a set of questions and replies from Ripple about why to use Ripple in their service, or what their recommendations are for how to do this interbank settlement. Well, one of the things I just wanted to read to you that I thought was interesting from this is right down here. And this is one of Ripple's answers. The question was from the Federal Reserve. Is RTGS the appropriate strategic foundation for interbank settlement of faster payments in the United States? And then right down here it says, this is from Ripple. Further, new systems should explore leveraging digital assets as a liquidity or settlement tool, especially for cross-border transactions. Ripple sees great potential in leveraging digital assets to enable more efficient reach and real-time access to liquidity for cross-border payments. New systems should consider these technologies and benefits. By leveraging new technologies, the U.S. can position itself to best meet not only the needs of the market today, but also the quickly changing expectations for payments in the future. We see a future where expectations for domestic and cross-border payments converge, with customers expecting all payments to be immediate, low cost, and with full transparency into status and fees. We call this Internet of Value, a vision where value moves as seamlessly as data does over the internet. To meet this expectation, payment system and financial institutions will have to leverage new and emerging technologies. While Ripple is not taking a view if the Federal Reserve should operate a new system, we do urge the Federal Reserve to publicly disclose its expected future role in payments in the near future to give the market greater certainty in planning its strategic investments. The market will hold off on making investments and decisions until it has greater certainty of the Federal Reserve's role in payments. So Ripple is literally telling them, you guys need to get this regulatory certainty going. And this was back in December of 2018. Okay, now I covered this yesterday from XRP Crypto. If I wanted to show it to you again to make a point here. China's central bank digital currency is ready, and we talked about this yesterday. Well, XRP Honey Bear found something interesting having to do with this, at C_Mike13. And this is a Ripple tweet from August 28th of 2017. Welcomed China's central bank, industry, and academic leaders to Ripple headquarters to discuss the latest blockchain trends. So in 2017, Ripple, no other digital asset company that's working on a use case for the greatest digital asset ever created. You can't name another company that met with China's central bank. I mean, if it doesn't, you've got a company here who has met with China's central bank and many other central banks. The same company is doing question and answers with the Federal Reserve of the United States. what else do you really need to know in terms of which digital asset that you should be invested in? This is the no-brainer of no-brainers of 3 lifetimes, folks. I mean, it blows my mind that people even question Ripple anymore. Now, this is a page that I saw that has been put on Ripple's website now, and it runs on Ripple. Discover the worry-free way to send money anywhere, anytime through Ripple's trusted network of providers. And they put a list of the companies that run on Ripple right now, or at least some of them: Instarim, Mercury FX, MoneyNet International, CIMB Bank, TransferGo, Sinfriend, EuroXM Bank, Rational FX, BTech, SCB, Coin One, and Pontual. But anyway, I'm sure that there are many more that are either online or coming online. But that's a pretty interesting page. Runs on Ripple. Now, I saw this from Binance, and I just thought that it was interesting enough to show to you. Where is your favorite place to trade from? Tag your pick. Hashtag my Binance, so we can share a few. Some of these are funny and they're worth looking at. I'm sure many of us would like to have that view while we do our trading, maybe one day. And then A Lot of Money wants to do their trading on the moon. I agree with that. I don't know what in the world this is. Let's see. This is he says it's my room. Looks like a scene out of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I think that this guy, Inspector Rect, is doing his trading out of Osama bin Laden's compound. And it says Ripple sucks on the wall. So I guess he's a Bitcoin guy. And then if you go down, there's a good view. Somebody's doing their trading from. This person's doing theirs from the dump, I guess. This one's underwater in a pool. This one's doing theirs from their gold toilet. And then they're doing theirs from their toilet as well. Now this is more what I had in mind. This is where I see myself one day when XRP finally moons the way that I think it will. This is more what I had in mind. Okay, moving along. This is good stuff right here. I got this from Digital Asset CPA, at Digital Asset CPA. These are 2 SEC documents. And what he told me is that anytime a key executive leaves a firm, I guess a publicly traded firm, they have to report it to the SEC. And what this is Western Union. Two key people. And I don't know if this is something that people know about or don't know about. But departure of directors, certain offices. On August 1st, 2019, the company announced that Amantor TX Schinkel, the company's senior VP, chief accounting officer, and controller, has communicated his intention to leave the company and cease serving in such positions. And then there's another document that was reported to the SEC of another person leaving. Departure of directors. On May 29th, 2019, Odilon Almeida will cease serving as Executive Vice President, President Global Money Transfer. So the VP of Global Money Transfer is leaving Western Union. You tell me, folks. I thought that was extremely interesting. Again, I don't know if that was already public information or what, but it was interesting enough. I think I needed to share it with you. Now, this is the first tweet from Bob Way. For those of you that don't know, Bob Way was one of the first employees at Ripple. He no longer works there now, but he popped up in the XRP community and social media not too long ago. Then he disappeared just as fast as he showed up, and now he is beginning to reappear. He is at DEF CON in, I think, Las Vegas. He said, so I have to retweet. Apologies for not tagging these people. Sometimes what happens at DEF CON doesn't stay at DEF CON. And he says, this didn't happen. So he's got a picture of him with a couple of guys there. All right. And then we've got this from Sergeant Obi One. Sent me this. This XRP Darren is on fire. You guys remember, go give him a follow at Fame21More. And also, you should go and join his Patreon group. Join Fame21More on Patreon. You can click here. He's providing a lot of his information through his Patreon group now. And I think he's got a $5, $10, $20 plan on there. But he sent this document from SEC Thailand's public hearing on regulatory and supervision of new digital asset businesses. They're just trying to put their regulations in place. They give a few different categories of how they'll do licensees fees if you're a digital token advisory service, cryptocurrency advisory service, digital token fund manager, cryptocurrency fund manager. So anyway, this shows you where all of this is going. These people are getting they're getting everything lined up, folks. What are they getting lined up for? And then Michael at VAL5 Links sent me this. Slow as molasses in the wintertime, a big agency like the SEC, any government agency that has existed for a long time and has lots of rules on the books, it can take a really long time to amend those rules and to provide some new clarity. Well, this is an article from the Daily Hodl about the SEC, and they're talking about how everything happens slow and all. It's difficult because there are a number of different areas in which clarity is needed, but I always caution people that a big agency like the SEC, any government agency that has existed for a long time, has lots of rules on the books. It can take a really long time to amend those rules and to provide some new clarity. Well, I want to make a point here having to do with this. And yes, it does take the government a very, very long time to do anything. But there is an exception to that rule. The exception to that rule is if they're bailing out all their banker friends and they're bailing out themselves in the case of the 2008 financial crisis. Remember, this is on, right here, September 20th of 2008. The Treasury submits legislation to Congress. This was for a $700 billion bailout. This was called TARP. Remember, on September 20th, Hank Paulson submitted a 3-page document that asked Congress to approve a $700 billion bailout. Treasury would use the funds to buy up mortgage-backed securities that were in danger of defaulting. By doing so, Paulson wanted to take these debts off the books of the banks, hedge funds, and pension funds that held them. In other words, keep their buddies. Remember, all of these guys at Treasury and the SEC, all of these guys are ex-Goldman Sachs, or they leave there and go to Goldman Sachs. It's like a revolving door backwards and forwards. So on September the 20th, 2008, he asks them for TARP, a $700 billion bailout of their friends. How long did it take them to do that? Well, if you look at the TARP Wikipedia page, that thing went through Congress from September 20th and landed on George W. Bush's desk on October the 3rd of 2008. It took them all of 23 or so days to approve a $700 billion bailout of all their banker friends. 23 days. And they say that, this just takes forever. All these digital assets, which happen to be something they're terrified of because it represents in their mind a possible loss of control of the monetary system. Yeah, then it takes years and years and years and years. But in this case, bailout of friends, 23 or so days, no big deal. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And tell your friends and family that TARP only took 23 days. But that was when they were bailing out themselves. Thank you for listening.